Hey there, welcome to my channel. It's me, and let's talk about brown rice. You probably already know it's better than white rice, but did you know it's actually a whole grain? And I don't mean like a grain that's whole, like complete, but it actually is a whole grain. That means that it has three parts of the grain kernel intact: the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. So brown rice has fiber and protein. It's not just carbs. So let's take a look at the nutrition facts for this baby. 1 cup of cooked brown rice has 216 calories, which is pretty good because it has 7 grams of protein and 3 grams of fiber, which is almost 14% of your daily requirement for fiber. So in this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this wonder grain and how to cook it so it's not hard and chewy, but soft and fluffy like white rice. Okay, first we have to talk about the difference between brown rice and white rice. The only difference is the milling. That's all. White rice is brown rice where they remove the bran and the germ, leaving you just with the starchy endosperm. To do that, they wash the rice to get off the dirt, and then they hull it to get off the inedible outer bran layer. Then they polish it with chemicals and high heat to get off the rest of the bran and the germ. Now, white rice is a more refined carbohydrate source compared to brown rice. It lasts longer because you removed the oil-based layers, and it can be made into really fine, nice, sticky rice paper, sushi, that kind of thing. But if you compare the nutrition facts of white rice to brown rice, you will see that brown rice wins in every single category except for the glycemic index. The glycemic index is how quickly the carbohydrates in food turn into sugar in your blood. The lower the GI, the better, because it's easier to control your blood sugar levels. Refined foods like white rice have a higher GI than complex carbs like brown rice. For example, the GI for white rice is around 100, whereas the GI for brown rice is around 50. 1 cup of cooked brown rice has about 22 grams of carbohydrates. That is equal to 9 teaspoons of sugar. A teaspoon of sugar has 4 grams of carbohydrates. Now, you might say, well, that's a lot of sugar. But remember, we have some important things in there, like the fiber and the protein. Plus, brown rice has half the amount of net carbs per serving than bread. So it doesn't have to be a feared food. The key is to eat a reasonable portion and combine it with protein and healthy fats. This slows down how quickly those carbs become sugar in your blood. Also, eating brown rice with a low glycemic index fruit like berries can help reduce its overall glycemic impact. Now that we've talked about the carbs, let's talk about the protein. 1 cup of cooked rice has 7 grams of protein. This is about half the protein in a large egg or a cup of milk. It's also about a quarter of the protein in lean beef. Now, 7 grams might not sound like much, but it adds up. If you eat 3 cups of brown rice in a day, that's 21 grams of protein. That's a significant amount of protein. Rice protein is considered incomplete because it's lacking in one of the essential amino acids, lysine. However, when you combine rice with beans or lentils, for example, you get all 9 essential amino acids, making it a complete protein. So brown rice is a great addition to vegetarian and vegan diets. Okay, and what about fiber? We know that 1 cup of cooked brown rice has about 3 grams of fiber, which is roughly 1/5 of the recommended daily intake for adult women, and about 1/4 of the recommended daily intake for adult men. Fiber helps with digestion, regularity, and satiety, making you feel full for longer. It also helps keep your blood sugar levels stable. Plus, fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut, helping to maintain a healthy gut microbiome. And lastly, let's talk about vitamins and minerals. Brown rice is a good source of manganese, which is important for bone health and metabolism. It's also a good source of selenium, which is an antioxidant that helps protect against cell damage. It also contains smaller amounts of magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, and several B vitamins. And now I want to answer a common question: should I soak brown rice before cooking it? Yes, soaking brown rice can help reduce the cooking time and make it easier to digest. I recommend soaking it for at least 30 minutes or up to 8 hours. To do this, just put the rice in a bowl, cover it with water, and let it sit at room temperature. Just make sure to discard the water before cooking the rice. Speaking of cooking, let's go over the best way to cook rice so it's soft and fluffy and not hard and crunchy. First, rinse the rice to remove any dirt or debris. Next, add the rice to a pot with a tight lid. Then add twice the amount of water to the rice. For example, if you have 1 cup of rice, use 2 cups of water. Then bring the mixture to a boil. Once it's boiling, immediately reduce the heat to low, then cover and simmer for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, turn off the heat and let the rice steam in the hot water for another 5 minutes. Fluff the rice with a fork and serve. Brown rice is very versatile. You can serve it as a side dish with your favorite proteins and vegetables. Or you can add it to soups and stews for extra fiber and protein. It's also delicious in salads. My favorite way to eat brown rice is in a stir-fry. Stir-fries are quick and easy to make, and they're a great way to get a lot of nutrients in one meal. You can add brown rice to a stir-fry with your favorite veggies and protein. For example, you could sauté sliced chicken breast with broccoli, carrots, snap peas, and garlic. Then add brown rice and soy sauce and cook until the rice is heated through. Another way to make brown rice is to use the absorption method. With this method, you don't have to worry about the water boiling over and making a huge mess. First, rinse the rice to remove any dirt or debris. Then, add the rice to a pot with 2 cups of water for every 1 cup of rice. Add salt to taste. Cover the pot and bring the mixture to a boil. Once the water reaches a rolling boil, reduce the heat to low, then cover and simmer for 18 minutes. After 18 minutes, remove the pot from the heat and let the rice steam for 5 minutes. Fluff the rice with a fork and serve. Now I want to talk about something called parboiled rice. Parboiled rice is partially boiled and then dried. This process helps to preserve the rice and make it last longer. It's also a good option if you're looking for a rice that's easier to cook. Parboiled rice cooks in less time than regular brown rice, about 20 minutes instead of 45 minutes. And it also has more than twice the amount of fiber, 8 grams per serving. However, it has less protein, 4 grams per serving. I personally prefer regular brown rice because it has a better texture and flavor, but parboiled rice is a great option if you're short on time. Well, there you have it. Brown rice is a nutritious whole grain that's a great addition to any diet. It's a good source of carbs, fiber and protein, and several important vitamins and minerals. Plus, it's very versatile and easy to prepare. So next time you're looking for a side dish to go with your meal, give brown rice a try. I think you'll be glad you did. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button below and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to visit our website. We have lots of resources to help you make informed food choices and recipes and a blog and so much more. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you next time.